Alright, cool. I just downloaded the 1.16 patch. This is going to be about a 5-minute video. I cherry picked the ones that are interesting. If you want to read the full article, look in the description. I also cherry picked all the patch notes that I like to hear in the description. So they improved the turning rates for planes. Bombers should no longer be able to outturn fighter planes. They fixed a bug that would cause airplanes to not resupply under certain conditions. While in the vehicle, the splash damage indicators that appear when damage is taken from anti-tank weapons now show in the correct direction. This was a big problem where you think somebody's shooting from the back, but it's actually on the sides. Also, passengers that exit your tank no longer block your shots. New visual dust effects have been added when tanks fire. Crates now inherit from the soldier speed to increase the throw distance. Now, these are important. These are really good fixes. Crates throw speed is now affected by the pitch angle to enable higher throwing arcs. Crates now attached to the terrain to make sure they land upright. Now, medic crates, when selected, they heal all nearby friendlies in a 2-meter radius from the crate. This is probably inherited from Battlefield 4. That's a good thing. This effect is interrupted for 2 seconds when you're taking damage and for 1.5 seconds while being suppressed. So if you're not being suppressed or taking damage, your medic crate will now heal people 2 meters from there. That's the circle. When deployed, this crate will heal nearby friendlies in a 2-meter radius from the crate, and interrupted for 2 seconds when taking damage and 1.5 seconds while being suppressed. When equipped in a gadget slot, friendly players can interact with friendly medics to get health. So you just have to have it slot, the crate slot in, the crate in a slot. You can come up to your medics, and you can then press square to obtain health from them. Same as about the ammo crates. When they're equipped in a gadget slot, friendly players can interact with friendly supports to take ammo. Improvements to, okay, this is that was the biggest news here. Next, improvements to the lighting on soldiers. This is a shader that makes third-person soldiers a bit more visible when in dark areas. Also, manual leaning. They're introducing manual leaning, allowing players to have more control over leaning and use the feature in more cases than the auto leaning system. Manual leaning is only available when aiming down sight. Moving while leaning is 50% slower. It's not possible to use a bipod while leaning. Players can decide if leaning should be a toggle or a hold through options and then controls. One fix that was interesting, they fixed a bug that would cause the player to be stuck in a death state. That's happened to me more times than I can remember. Players can now also trigger landing rolls when using the jump button when hitting the ground. Landing roll is now timing based. Players have to hold the button within a third of a second before hitting the ground. Lastly, improved soldier stability on slopes. Players will now slide less often when the terrain becomes a bit steeper. Let's do some of the multiplayer. Alright, let me stick this into the description. Live. So, yeah, really awesome. You can take health from your medic buddy and take ammo from your support guy. Let's do a quick round, see if I can notice any of that. Still waiting for my platoon to come online.
Capture and hold the objectives, as many as possible, soldiers.
Great.
Da ist Gefahr! Vorsicht!
Okay, that was the first cringe moment of the day, and there's the second. So, if any of the notes don't pan out, I'll let you guys know. Cringe, cringe. See you on the battlefield.